How's it going today, class? Professor Pinky here, and today I'm going to bring you my thoughts on the best characters for Season 6 of Apex Legends. If it's your first time here on the channel, thank you so much for swinging by, and if you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Also, don't forget to drop a like, comment on what you guys want to see, or if you guys like what I'm doing, or you want to see a different game or some different stuff, please let me know. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already, and remember to turn on your notification bells so whenever a new video drops, you guys will be the first to know. Also, we have set up our new Instagram page, so by all means, I'll leave the link in the description below for you guys to check that out. As far as how I rated them, I did do it in a series of tiers, tier 0 being the top, working our way down to tier 3. We're going to go ahead and start off with Bangalore here. So Bangalore is a straightforward assault character. I definitely recommend her for either new or existing players for sure. She has her tactical ability, which is her smoke. She's able to lay down some smoke. It does a little bit of damage depending on the placement. It's a good way to, again, get out of fights or even go into fights, cover your tracks, and even good when it comes to reviving teammates. She can smoke them, go in there, pick them up real quick, and head out. And then her passive ability, she's able to, double time it whenever she's getting some incoming fire. So, again, a good way to kind of come out of fights. Also go into fights if they're shooting at you. And mainly as a defensive sort of ability. And then moving into her ultimate ability, which is the airstrike, the rolling thunder one. It's not bad. It's not the greatest. It's good for finishing off a team, if anything, or again just to kind of cover your backs when you and your squad are trying to roll out and get out of a fight that was bad. It's pretty good and well-rounded for multiple situations, as are her abilities. So that being said, again, she's a solid character. She's definitely good for new or existing people. Existing players have refined her. So I would say, as far as the tiers go, I place Bangalore in tier 2. Moving on, we're going to go into Bloodhound. So Bloodhound, again, has been around since the beginning of the game, similar to Bangalore. He's known for, being the hunter of the group. He has his passive ability where he's able to mark and see tracks left by previous squads, and individual characters. So if you're sliding or if an enemy has slid down a mountain or has, recently traveled through an area, you can see their footsteps. He can mark it and, announce it to his team. And he's got that great awareness that really helps when tracking down, deciding whether or not to go into a certain area or not. He's really good when that comes to awareness. Moving into his tactical ability, which is the marking. So he can mark through walls, of course, given the proper, direction. He can scan through walls to a pretty good-sized range. It's crazy, even. And, of course, it goes through walls, and it can pick up multiple people with the use of it. So having, again, that great awareness when it comes to team fights, again, initiating or getting out of a fight is really awesome. And finally, moving into his ultimate ability, the fact that, again, it kind of just tacks onto his passive and his tactical ability, so giving him the tracks and giving him the speed boost on top of that, and having the ability to see nearby enemies through walls is crazy. So it's a good way to just go in, rush them down and really just pop off and get multiple people down, and a good aggressive way to get a fight going or even finished. So with that being said, I do place Bloodhound in tier 0. So he's definitely a must-have. Definitely you will see a lot of him, and one of the best legends currently. So moving down the list, we're going to go ahead and go into Caustic. So Caustic is one of the bigger, defense sort of characters. People, do tend to play him more often as far as the defensive character lineup goes. He's got the use of his Nox gas, so he can lay down traps. The traps are activatable either, through sensors. Of course, if you pass it, it'll go off. Or even if you shoot it, it'll go off. So people have been getting the trick of that too. They can toss a Nox gas can and then shoot it to activate it. It's pretty handy. It's a good way to suppress the enemy, for sure. Not only does it do damage, but it also, disorients them. It's hard to see, and you kind of get a little turned around if hit by it properly. And of course, going into his ultimate ability is the big, Nox gas bomb. So that covers a pretty spread area. again, it has the same effects as his traps. It go ahead and does damage, and it disorients the team for sure. And with his passive ability, he's able to see through it. This does also apply for other caustics. So again, if you're going against another one of that legend, he can see through your gas too, and you can see through your own. So I've seen a lot of players use this to lay down some cover, lay down some suppressing fire per se, and it can also be used to go ahead and revive teammates, similar to Bangalore smoke. So very well rounded, I would say. And he's also one of the fortified characters where he does take, I believe it's 10% less damage with incoming fire. So a good beefy, tanky sort of character to have on a team. So that being said, I tossed Caustic into tier 2. So towards the middle of the group. Alright, moving on to Crypto. Crypto, my guy, my main. So I may be a little biased when it comes to Crypto, but let me just talk facts. So with the use of his drone, he has this passive ability where not only can he see through his drone, but of course anything that the drone marks, his team is able to see up to the 30 meters. Again, you can relay to my previous video for some more tips and tricks into Crypto. So again, the use of his drone being able to mark, he can also mark nearby banners that are placed around the map to kind of get awareness on how many squads are nearby, to just be cautious, or hey, it's safe to go in. So good awareness on that front. And then what's even crazy, I would say this season for sure, is the use of the drone to again continue like he always has to pick up teammate banners, but now with the ability to use the drone itself to use a respawn beacon and bring back your teammates instantaneously. You don't have to wait for that 1-2 seconds for the bar to load. You just do it and it's done. Same thing with the survey beacons. Again, all recon characters this season can interact with survey beacons. He can use his drone just to instantly scan and find you in the next ring with his drone. So you're not giving yourself up, you're not exposing yourself or anything like that. You just use your drone. As long as he doesn't get destroyed, boop, I'm going to go ahead and, check the next ring. Or boop, I'm going to bring back the whole team. Like, that's crazy. It's definitely a very good support, role that the drone fills. And then as well as a good aggressive role that it fills. Because, again, with the use of the ultimate ability, Crypto can use the drone to drop the EMP. It slows down enemies. It destroys traps, so it knocks gas, any Wattson fences, even Rampart's new shield. It'll drop all of that. Like, that's awesome for initiating fights. And also you can use the EMP to go ahead and cover yourself if you need to get out of a fight. And also, the drone damage that's done with the EMP goes towards your Evo shield. So, free Evo charge? Why not? But all that does sound, good on paper and everything like that. But again, it's all possible only through the use of the drone. So Crypto is very, very reliant on the drone. That being said, I did place Crypto in tier 1. So not, the worst, not down low, but he's definitely up there with the best. Alright, so moving on to Gibraltar. Gibraltar's another one of those defense characters. He sees plenty of play. People choose him, definitely. He's very solid, and I would definitely recommend him for beginner people. And of course, existing players, I've seen plenty on there as well. But going through his abilities, his passive is the arm shield, and he's also another one of those fortified characters. So he does take a little bit of less incoming damage that comes in, and then the arm shield is really, really good to just kind of block yourself and block extra shots and kind of give you a little bit more of a chance whenever you're aiming down your sights. And then the fact that the arm shield is toggleable is pretty awesome. You can take it off, put it on, just to kind of save the shield as much as you can. And then with his tactical ability, he can drop the dome shield. That's pretty good. It's very straightforward. It blocks incoming fire, but in return, it also blocks, outgoing shots. So it's good just to kind of cover yourself in a bad spot. Use it to bring back a teammate, without having to be worried about getting shot from a distance. You do have to be careful if they run up on you, because that's where, it falls a little bit short. So be careful. But all around, very good defense. I would say it's definitely, good to have on a team when you need a little bit more of a tanky team, a team with more defense. And then finally, his ultimate ability. It's another airstrike similar to Bangalore's. It's not where it drops each missile or each bomb and then explodes. It's more instantaneous. It comes incrementally, bomb here, bomb there, and more spread. So again, it's more of a defensive sort of approach, or again, you can use it whenever you're finishing off a fight and finishing off some enemies. So that being said, I placed Gibraltar towards the middle at tier 2. So not too bad, but Definitely good for, I would say, more beginning people. Alright, moving on, we have Lifeline. So Lifeline is pretty much the most pure, or the pure medic in the game. No other characters really have the ability to heal you, per se. So Lifeline, her tactical is the health drone itself. So not only does that little drone, heal you, but if you're down on the ground, Lifeline can also go up and just drop her robot on you to revive you. She doesn't have to be there to, do what she needs to. So that's really awesome. You crawl to a good spot, your teammate Lifeline just comes, run by you, drops the drone or the robot, and you'll be up in a second as long as you're covered. And on top of that, not only does it bring you back, but the fact that she can also provide a shield too. The robot itself can throw up a shield, or even if she does manually, revive you, she'll have a shield protecting you while she revives you. So it's kind of, a little bit better than previous, Gibraltar's Dome. As long as the Lifeline's up, she can shield herself and revive you, or she can just drop the robot and revive you. So that's awesome. She is one of those low-profile characters, so she does take more damage, if you're able to hit her. But she's also, a little bit more slimmer, more highlighted in mobility. So she is a little bit harder to hit. And then finally, also her ultimate ability is the care package. So she can drop a care package if you're needing some extra health, ammo, extra attachments or shields. The team can really benefit from that. So not the greatest ult, but it does come in clutch given the circumstance. That being said, I placed Lifeline in tier 1, up there with Crypto. Alright, moving in to Loba here. So Loba, one of the newer characters. She's very, very, likable as a character. I like what she's about. I like the story and everything that she's involved with. But speaking gameplay and stuff, going into her tactical ability, she does have her burglar's best friend where she can throw her bracelet. It is a little bit finicky with the placement, so you got to be careful, how high you throw it or how, straight you throw it, because that'll dictate the range and everything like that. It is okay for a getaway. It's not instantaneous where you can just blink and come back, so you have to be careful. But it is a good way to get out of a heated position if you're in a bad spot. And then also her passive ability where she's able to see epic loot or higher, through walls and containers, so purple or higher. It does come in handy, so you can kind of pick and choose where you're looting for you and your squad, so not bad. And then finally her ultimate ability, which is the black market. That's pretty cool. Again, if your teammates need to catch up on loot, you guys aren't getting the best stuff, you really need to, kind of, get a ball rolling and kind of get good gear. She can just drop it nearby, and she can pick it out of any def boxes or any supply bins and stuff like that. She can even pull it out of the vault. But you have to be very, very careful with the vault because you can only take one item if you do it. I've tried it and it was scary the first time because the vault yelled at me. So feel free to try that if you'd like to see what I'm talking about. But all in all, I would have to place Loba on tier 3. She's definitely not a game-changing character, but she's fun. Alright, moving into Mirage. So Mirage is one of those characters that has had work done to him, and it was definitely for the better. I do dabble with Mirage every now and then, and he's an entertaining character. I like the personality. Again, I like what the character's about and all that. But going into his abilities here, he has the use of the decoy. Before, the decoy would just be mindless, and you can throw it out there, and it would go a certain distance, stop, and that's it. But now, it's cool how they did fix him up to where he's able to control said decoy, so he can actually give it more life. He can make a jump, he can move it and position it and then leave it there, or he can let it continue to run. So a little bit more interactive, and I think that's really good that they did that for Mirage. And teammates, when he's reviving them in the field, or even when he's interacting with a respawn beacon, he'll cloak himself and he's able to interact with it without really getting spotted. So that's pretty cool. I think that definitely helps in the support aspect of things. And then finally, his ultimate ability. He has this big, decoy parade. All the decoys, go in different directions and they move as you do. Before, you used to go completely invisible as you ran away, but here they give you a brief moment of invisibility, and then you pop up just like the rest of your decoys. So I understand, that is powerful, so they did have to, balance it and limit it. But if you have a very smart and keen eye of an enemy, they can kind of pick you out of the crowd, because I've done that several times where I see a Mirage run away and you can easily find out which is which. And again, I play a lot of crypto, and if you have your drone out, it'll mark the proper one for you, so you don't even have to guess. So That being said, I tossed Mirage in a tier 2 ranking. Alright, moving on, we have Octane. So Octane is another one of those really fun characters. I like what he's about. I like what he represents. And then getting into his abilities, his stim obviously makes him run faster. Like, that's cool. You're able to, like, clear half the map just, like, running and using stim. But, of course, it's at the cost of your health. So health is, a very important thing to take into account when playing Octane. You want to make sure you have enough, because if you're dying and trying to run away and the people are landing hits on you, that last stim could take you out. So you got to be careful with your resource management there. Going into his ultimate ability, the jump pad, I do like how the jump pad has the double jump. It was definitely better than what it was before, where it was just a single bounce and that was it. So it is good for traveling, good at getting in height, at height advantage positions and getting away if needed. And then his passive ability is the regen of his health. So again, at the cost of your health to use the stem, you do regenerate it over time. It's not, again, the most, but it helps for what he excels at. So again, you just want to be very careful when it comes to health and everything like that. And again, his stem is useful when coming in to a fight, to really push and to really charge and catch an enemy off guard. And it's also really good to, of course, escaping. But most of it only benefits him and not the team as a whole. That being said, I tossed Octane into tier 3. So it may be a little harsh, but that's how I feel. Alright, moving into Pathfinder. So Pathfinder, they've done a lot of wrong too, so I'll kind of make this quick with Pathfinder. He was my character ever since the beginning until what they did to him was horrible. The grapple, that's what he's about, his tactical. They made the cooldown too long, and he's kind of unplayable at this point. He's also another low profile character, so he does take more damage, but he's a little bit harder to hit, which doesn't help since he can't get away as fast if you mess up a zipline. And then his zipline ultimate, where you can set it up and help people transfer, is not bad as long as you put it in a good position. But all in all, I'm sorry Pathfinder buddy, but you're in tier 3. So alright, moving on, we have Revenant. So Revenant is another one of those new characters. He's seen a lot of play, definitely when he first came out and everything like that. Going into his abilities, he has the silence orb, so he can shoot up to 2 of the orbs that silence opponents if you landed on them. So if it's a Wraith or a Pathfinder, anything where they're trying to zip away or anything like that, you hit them beforehand, they're done. Like, it's a big no right in their face. So I think that's pretty awesome. He also has the passive crouch walk, where he can crouch at the same speed as a regular normal walk, and then at that time he's silent too. It's very stealthy, and it's good to clear some area that you need to move through while being quiet. It's a good way to sneak up on opponents. And then with his ultimate ability, the totem. The totem's really cool. Basically a free life. Like, who doesn't want a free life? That's awesome. And not only can you use it though, you got to be careful with the placement, because it could be destroyed and other teammates can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and put Revenant into a tier 0, because he's a character you want to have on your team for sure. Moving on to Wattson. Wattson, another one of those defense characters. Her fences that she puts up as her tactical, they're neat, but they're very weak. You can just shoot one shot on the base of the thing of the fence, and it's over. It's broken, done. But she can use ultimate accelerants if you find those around the map to charge her ultimate instantly, which isn't bad, because I would say that's where Wattson shines the most, her ultimate. She can drop down the pylon to, deactivate incoming grenades and stuff like that, as well as heal your team's shields over time. So that's good to have that recharge ability. Unfortunately, I think it's a little lackluster, so I tossed her into tiers 3. Wraith has been the cover girl for Apex for some of the longest time, and she's always been getting love. Her tactical ability, which is the Void Walk, she's able to basically just blink in and out of fights and get into a position that she wants to be. Like, that's awesome. It's really good for repositioning yourself, getting a height advantage, kind of going away, and setting up really, really well. She can have her, little stream follow her and stuff, so you just have to be careful, not to be spotted. She has the passive, again, where she's low mobility, like some of the other characters, where she can move a little bit faster, but she does take more hits, so be careful with that. And finally, her portal itself is really, really good defensively and offensively. She can take a down teammate in and out of a fight really, really quickly, bring them back, get them back in, and then she can also use it just for covering ground. So that being said, I would actually place Wraith as a tier 0 character. And then I forgot to mention Rampart. Rampart is the new character. Rampart is pretty good. She hasn't gotten any, big changes yet, but her shields are very good for blocking incoming fire, amping up outgoing shots. So that's always nice. She's very fun. She also has that passive with the LMGs, the light machine guns, where she's able to increase the clip size, and then she has Sheila. So if she's able to set up preemptively, and not in the heat of the moment, she'll excel. But if you're trying to sit there and set up shields when it's already a little too late, you're going to get busted up, and that's no fun. So that being said, I placed Rampart in tier 2. Alrighty, class. Well, that'll do it for my discussion. So again, these are purely my decisions and my opinions. If you guys have any opinions of your own, of course you do. Please drop a comment in below and let me know what you guys think. Represent your character. If you're an Octane fan, let me know. Let me know some pros and cons. Let me know how you feel about it. Again, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And also check out the Instagram page. Feel free to reach out to me. Let's chat. Let's get a discussion going. Let's play. Like, that's what it's all about. So thank you guys, and as always, class dismissed.